diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jack, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, you already know what it is. I'm back again. Happy Tuesday. You already know. Oh shoot, we on Wednesday. Oh my God. Happy hump day. I am so sorry. Listen, man, my days be running together. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. My days be running together. I be at the house parenting. Okay, so my days don't be daying. Okay, I just be like, every day is Friday over here. Okay, and that's no shot to people that gotta go to work and stuff like that. But every day over here is Friday. You know what I'm saying? We are just blessed, and now Key knows every day of the week. Okay, she knows because she working. You know what I'm saying? She working, so she be like, today Tuesday, today Wednesday. I can't wait till Friday. The mantras when you out there working in them corporate streets. You just looking forward to that Friday. Over here at the OFFSCRIPT Media Group, which she decided not. Don't just play no, But every day over here at the OFFSCRIPT Media Group is Friday. Just want to make that very clear. All right, listen, we're gonna get into today's. Listen, I made sure I'm bringing smoke today. Okay, you see what I'm rocking with, so you know who I'm rolling with. Okay, I would usually play something that the band plays, but once again, A&M's band is not that good. They ain't got nothing to play. All right, but I will tell you this though, A&M. I'm with you.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
If you think I'm here to play with y'all today, I went deep, okay? Deep into the archives. I did a lot of research. I tried to make sure I'm on point. I'm going to give you my opinion as only I can. Okay, but at the end of the day, I tried to get all, and I put the articles in the description below. So if anybody's like, oh, Scotty, where can I find that? I don't know where that is. Oh my God, you're making stuff up. Go take your ass and do some education and read. All right. Also, want to give a shout out to everybody that graduated from an HBCU or PWI and you black. Okay. Especially at HBCU. Shout out to my boy Quincy Casey. Okay, he graduated from A&M. He is an alum now, going for his master's degree. Shout out to my man Quincy, and shout out to all the HBCU grads. Listen, I saw a video. First of all, let me tell you what you HBCU. Oh, see, now y'all done got me off topic, but I'm going off script. Let me tell what you HBCU SIDs media departments. Once again, FAMU is the standard. All right, once again, FAMU is the standard. They had a fit check. Oh my God, that joint was so fire. They for graduation, they had a fit check. So if you're an HBCU, you need to be doing fit checks for your graduation. Okay, I mean, them jokers were sharp. Do you hear me? Dresses, suits, all type of stuff, man. Everybody in the HBCU community needs to be doing fit checks under their graduation robe. All right, get with the times, okay? Get with the times. So y'all need to be doing that more often. You know what I'm saying? So that drink was fire. Do you hear me? It was absolutely fire. I don't be on TikTok very often. I'm not a big fan of TikTok, but I saw it on TikTok. So it was on, I think it was on my Instagram Reels, but it came from TikTok or whatever. But you already know what it is. So I'm just leaving it at that. All right, now listen. Today we talking business, right? Like I said, once again, I don't have to explain anything. You know how I get down. I talk about sports, I talk about business, I talk about media, I talk about a lot of stuff over here, right? But I want to get you guys, what I need you guys to understand is how people get us is they entertain us, right? How people get us is there's a saying, if you don't want somebody to know something, put it in a book, right? But when it comes to HBCUs, is if you don't want an HBCU to know something, put it in a contract. Put it in a contract. If you don't want HBCUs to understand what is going on, put it in a contract, have their president sign it, and put it away in an archive somewhere, and you'll never know what the situation is. Right? So what we're doing and what it is, and the reason I call this the A-team, because the A-team ain't going for that. Okay? And I know all you old heads, once you saw A-team, you was like, putting the cigar, the white man putting the cigar in. You know what I'm saying? So the A team is doing what the A team is supposed to do, which is like, yo, we're not doing the same old, okay? A&M is not doing the same old stuff anymore. But that has to be across the board when it talks about, hey, at the end of the day, you're not just going to entertain us with contract talk or contract jargon and it not have no money behind it, okay? It better have some money, but we're going to dive deep into that. And once again, we are talking about the what? We putting cigars in today. I don't smoke. I would, you know what I'm saying? I would have had a cigar, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the white man in there. We talking cigar. All right, A-team, baby. We talking A-team today. Now, what we going to do is we going to go back. You got to go back to go forward, okay? Got to go back to go forward. So let's do a quick little recap because a lot of people might not know what's going on, right? So quick recap. You already understand what it is. Alabama A&M signed the Match City Classic agreement with the city, right? Did not sign with the sports management or the management company of ASC, Alabama Sports Council, right? They did not sign that contract with them, only signed with the city. All right, I'm trying to get through this real quick so we can get to the nitty gritty. All right, Alabama State signs an exclusive agreement to receive $1.5 million for 2023 and 2025 classics. That $1.5 million bump in pay came from ASC. Why? ASC is like, hey, we thank you, Quentin Ross, for not actually reading the contract and just being money hungry. So we're going to give you this money and we're going to let it go. Right? We're going to give you this money and whatever. We're going to give you this increase or whatever. Now, it could be, I want to be very clear. I don't know the considerable details. It could be $750 those 2 years. That comes up to $1.5 million. It could be that, or it could be $1.5 million in 2023 and $1.5 million in 2025. I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to split that, kind of like how your boss does with your bonus. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you don't give me all up front. You're going to give it to me in 2 paychecks, and now I get taxed on it twice. You ain't slick, boss man. You ain't slick, boss man. I know. Man, let me tell you, one time I was working at State Farm. Oh, man. I was working at State Farm, right? At the agency office. And my agent, after the agent running the whole thing, he was like, hey, listen, whoever gets licensed in life and health first, because he brought in some new people, me and 2 other people. He was like, whoever gets licensed in life and health first, I'm going to give you $1,000 bonus. Listen, you ain't got to tell me twice. I was up in that junk studying. I said that day a week. He told me that day. I said it like a week from that day. It's like a Thursday, so I said it to next Thursday. I was studying, right? Day of, I pass it. I go that Friday because, you know, you get your results right then in the Pearson group. I go that Friday. I'm like, yo, where's my money? $1,000. This Bama said, I'm going to pay it to you this week for $500, and then I'm going to pay you next week $500. I said, sir, that is not $1,000 bonus. Now I just got taxed on $500 and $500. So I probably got like $350, you know what I'm saying? Or like $400. Man, I was hot. Okay. It's not about me, but I was hot. I ain't see, man. I was absolutely hot. Man. Yeah, man. I've worked a lot of places. Listen, I've been around. You know what I'm saying? I've been around. But all right, let's keep on with the recap, right? So once again, this is the white man over ASC. All right, the ASC agreement unsigned confirmed Gene Hallman. That's the Gene Hallman, you know, white man with the comb over. Can't trust him. All right, can't trust him. Formerly of the Bruno event team, which produces the classic. He's the one that is overseeing everything in regards to what it is with the ASC and how they operate, right? So once again, Quentin Ross, President of Alabama State says, although this should be monumentous occasion for both Alabama State and University of Alabama A&M to receive the highest payout in the history of the MCC, sorry, and undoubtedly the largest HBCU Classic football, I would beg to differ. I think Bayou Classic is. We found ourselves at this impasse. Alabama State President Quentin Ross told I have to make a decision that is best fiscal interest of my institution. Listen, let me tell you something. If anybody has seen Queen and Slim, President Ross is the ninja with the dreads and the gold teeth that turned him in at the end. I said it. I don't give a damn. I said it. President Quentin Ross, this man to my left, or your right, however you looking at me, right? My right, your left, right? He is the black man of Queen and Slim who turned them Bamas in at the end, okay? That's who he is. When somebody says this keyword, I did what's in the best interest of my institution, that means I didn't think about nobody else but myself. I was thinking about nobody else but myself. That's what that means, okay? When you ever hear somebody said, hey, I had to do what's best for my fiscal interest, or I had to do what's best for me. Okay? I had to do what's best for me. If you haven't seen Queen and Slim, go skip to the end where they get picked up in the dude in the cutlass and the classic, right? Skip to that part and just watch from that part on. That Bama is Quentin Ross going back to his trailer home, counting all the money he got from turning them Bamas in. That is all. See, man, thank you, God. God gave me. See, what Alabama A&M is trying to do is what Queen and Slim was doing. All right? What Queen and Slim was doing, they was bringing energy behind them. They had the black people movement. Everybody was trying to follow. But it only take one. It only take one. Okay? And Quentin Ross is that one. He's the black brother with the dreads, with the golds. Turn them Bamas in with the quickness. All right? That's what Quentin Ross is. He's a turner-inner. All right? He's a turner-inner. He's not the one that minds his business through the window. He's neighborhood watch. He be one looking in the blinds talking about homeowner association. They haven't put their garbage up. He that ninja. Okay, and everybody knows you don't like that ninja. Like, bro, mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. Bama all up in the window talking about they haven't taken their Christmas lights down. I don't want to. Christmas keeps coming year round. I'm going to leave them jokers up. It's my house and my light bill. You know what I'm saying? That's Quentin Ross. Just had to give y'all a breakdown of who Quentin Ross was. It's just my personal opinion. This is a personal opinion piece, but that's what I feel. Okay. So, to each his own. So going back, right? Going back. Now, what Quentin Ross turned Queen and Slim in for? What Quentin Ross turned A&M for, right? What he turned in on A&M was to get $1.5 million from ASC. Now, though, I want you guys to remember the years, 2023, which is this year, and 2025. Be very cognizant of the years, right? Because it's all going to come back out. All right, this is all going to come back around, and we're gonna follow this thing up. But you know what we got to talk about first? All right, got to talk about the. Gotta talk about the A-team, okay? Gotta talk about the A-team, okay? Gotta talk about the A-team. Now, first thing first by the A-team, okay? First thing first by the A-team, good PR matters, okay? Good PR matters. Telling your side of the story matters. And let me just say this and blow myself up, producer. Thank you, sir. All right. HBCUs do a shit-ass job of that. Hear me very carefully and closely when I say that. All right. HBCUs do a piss poor job on doing good PR. Ask Bethune-Cookman. All right. Ask Bethune-Cookman. They do a piss poor job of good PR. They don't understand it. They don't. Ask Grambling and Travion Scott what good PR means for your institution. When he tried to hire Art Browse, he didn't do good PR. When he tried to get rid of Chelsea, he didn't do good PR. They suck at it. Okay? What HBCUs think PR is this. Okay? After a certain time, we're going to hide our head in the sand for long enough and people are just going to forget about it. That's good PR for HBCUs. You know what? Oh, you know what? Oh, we're just gonna hide our heads in the sand. And then we're gonna come out 2 months later, and then nobody's gonna talk about it. Okay, 2 months is here. Anybody still talking about it? No, we're good. Let's move forward. That's HBCUs and PR. Ask Jackson State about the PR that they didn't do behind Deion Sanders and all the lies he was probably telling when he was going out, and they weren't really lies. They were kind of like half truths. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? PR matters, right? And the first thing the A-team did was, listen, we're going to tell the narrative our way, our side. Doesn't have to be on a nationally broadcast. We're going to tell all alums and our fans why. This is the most important thing, which HBCUs do not understand. Your best team is a team that already rocks with you. Your best, it's the same thing with marketing, right? They always say the best marketing is word of mouth, right? The best marketing for HBCUs are your own alums. Why? Because you can never do anything wrong in front of them. Their HBCU alums are like the girl off of Two Can Play That Game when Bobby, you know what I'm saying, when he had the messed up teeth and the messed up hair and they fixed him up and they dragging him around and stuff like that. Like, that is HBCU alums about their HBCU schools. There's nothing you can say bad about them that they're not going to defend you on, right? Even if they know they're in the wrong, they ain't going to let you know that they're in the wrong. They're going to go back into their little alumni group. They're going to text all of the alumni group and all the private chats. Man, I wish we would do better, but we ain't going to tell them ninjas that, right? That's what y'all do. So if you get the narrative in front of your alums are going to pick that up and they're going to run with the message wherever else. They're going to take you, right? They're going to take you into those small meeting rooms or those water cooler meetings and all that stuff when people say, man, you heard that Alabama A&M, you know, they missed out on $1.5 million. You know what an A&M alum is going to be? Excuse me. No, we did not miss out on $1.5 million. We actually saved ourselves 3 years of headache. Thank you very much. That's what an A&M alum is going to do. That's what HBCU alums do for their institution. So you might as well do your own PR and push your own narrative, okay? Push your own narrative. That's just how the business goes, and you got to understand business. So what does A&M do? And the A-team, what do? The A-team, what they do? They put their own narrative out. On A&M, right? On A&M's junk, on their own website. They didn't go to AL.com. They didn't go to HBCU Game Day. They didn't come to me. They said, listen, we got a website. We got to inform our alums, and whoever picks up the story is going to pick up the story from where? Our website. From us. It came from our platform, not he said, she says. No, we said this is our narrative, and we're gonna establish the narrative. Now, where you take it from there is on you, but we're going to establish our own narrative. And what do they say? All right, from the article, and the article is linked in the description below if you want to go read from the Alabama A&M website. It says, it is important that our alumni, fans, corporate partners, and sponsors understand why the university is pivoting. That is key right there. That's a key right there. They're telling you off the rip. We are going to explain to you what is going on. They are talking to you as a parent that cares about your voice. This is so important, right? Because most HBCUs see you like the black mom, right? Do as I say, not as I do. You don't have a voice. You don't speak here. A&M is coming with the new Generation Z parenting. You get what I'm saying? They coming with that new white mom type stuff. Hey, baby, listen, Johnny, okay, me and your dad, we're having some trouble and we're having some difficulty and we're going to get divorced. No, Mom, no, not divorce. Johnny, listen, Johnny, give me the time, okay? Johnny, can you just hear me? Can you hear me? Is my heart penetrating your soul, Johnny? A&M took that treatment, okay? Not the black mama that you come in and like, Mom, where Daddy? Daddy is where Daddy wants to be, okay? Mind your business, because Daddy is where he wants to be. He want to be with that trick across the street. Let him be with that trick across the street. Don't come in here asking me about where your damn daddy is. Now go upstairs and mind your business and play your little damn game. That's a black mama. White mamas don't act the same. So A&M took the white mama approach. Hey, I'm going to try to penetrate you with my heart and my love and try to understand what's going on in the situation. All right. So that's what's going on right here. Right. So A&M is talking to you. Stay out of grown folk business. You know what it is. Stay out of grown folk business. Okay. So they say, hey, it's important that our alumni, fans, corporate partners, sponsors understand why the university is pivoting. A&M was opposed to a 4-year term of the management agreement due to the lack of guarantee funding for the entire term of the contract, right? As Jefferson County Commission only guaranteed funding for this year, ASC indicated that the funding was required for them to guarantee the university fixed payment for the 4 years that required in the proposed contract. Now, let me say this, okay? Because once again, I got receipts. Let's go back. Now, what did the Bama from Queen and Slim say? He said, we found ourselves at an impasse. Alabama State President Quentin Ross said, I had to make a decision that was in the best fiscal interest of my institution. Now, I asked y'all, Bamas, is explain this to me. Now, are there two different contracts? Because A&M is literally putting Quentin Ross on Front Street. They're saying the terms and the agreements that ASC tried to propose to us did not make sense. They could not make guarantees to us on the financial backing for the next 4 years. So explain to me how. Listen, I'm going to teach you something today if you just listen to me. Now, I ask you this. This is what happens. See, this is why it's important to put your own narrative out. Right? Because when everybody looks around and says, oh my God, Alabama State got $1.5 million. And then you hear what A&M is telling you when they're saying, hey, we were opposed to a 4-year agreement due to the lack of guaranteed funding. So that means, in my mind, if A&M would have signed their 4-year agreement with Alabama State, with ASC, that $1.5 million funding, where does that come from? Because if you couldn't guarantee it, so all of a sudden now you can guarantee $1.5 million to Alabama State now that we didn't sign. But before that, you couldn't promise us any funding after the 2023 year. Make that make sense. Now you've guaranteed $1.5 million to Alabama State. If that don't seem like a white man setup, I don't know what else is. I'm talking in here today, Okay, if that does not seem like a white man that is setting you up for something, I don't know what is, because this is the perfect definition of division. This is the perfect example of how money and a white man can divide you of your purpose, of what is right, right? One school is saying, hey, this doesn't make sense. How can you not guarantee us money for 4 years based off the funding of the city, right? Then we don't agree to your contract. Then all of a sudden, Alabama State is guaranteed $1.5 million for the 2 years at their home games. Now, the thing to me where I beg to differ, and I say this, is that I'm under the impression of, hey, if you were able to come up with $1.5 million, what else could you come up with? But that's neither here nor there. So let's continue, right? Let's continue. It says in the article put out on Alabama A&M's website, they also said other major concerns included the lack of transparency of financial statements and supporting documentation of previous Magic City Classic events. Now that right there, that's a bomb in itself. That is a that should have been a stopgap for anybody, including the Bama from Queen and Slim. That line alone, the lack of transparency. We are all partners. Listen to me. There is nothing about Alabama Sports Council or the management group that they paid that none of this stuff happens without Alabama State and Alabama A&M. So how in the blue hell can you have a lack of transparency when you won't even have an event? You wouldn't even be getting paid without me. You wouldn't even get paid without me. You are a third-party promoter. You can't promote anything without the teams. But once again, let me go back to the Bama from Queen and Slim. What did he say? I'm telling you,
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, goddamn,
I'm not here to play with y'all today. I am not here to play around and have some tea and cup. No, I'm talking some real talk today, right? He said again, I have to make the decision that is in the best fiscal interest of my institution. Now, the A team is saying this. Other major concerns included the lack of transparency of financial statements, supporting documentation of the previous Magic City Classic. All funds raised during the Magic City Classic weekend, including sponsorship, scholarships, additional municipal funding, excluding those given by the city, goes to the ASC. That is the Alabama Sports Council. So all the money that is gathered up, listen, this is pretty much saying, and I apologize if anybody who's a pastor or anybody in a part of a clergy, right? I want to be very clear what I'm saying. Imagine the Magic City Classic being a church, right? The event is Sunday. The pastor gets up there and says, hey, no, better yet, let's do it like this. Let's say Kurt Franklin and Fred Hammond put on a gospel concert every weekend at your church. You pay them a commission to come, right? People come. You take a tithe and offering. You take offering when they come. All that money is gathered. Ticket money, offering money, book money, donation money. All that money is gathered, right? And you take your butt back, and it's all at the pastor's office. It is all at the pastor's office in the back. And then they divvy it up accordingly. You don't know what that money was. You don't know how much you got. It's all in the pastor's office. Okay? There is no checks and balances to this. It is simply saying, hey, trust us and trust what we give you. Now, I wasn't going to bring this up until later, but the spirit is moving in here, and I feel that I have to show you guys how much I feel like I got to show you this because I just feel like it's prevalent, right? It's prevalent. Let me bring this up to you guys, right? Let me show you guys what you're looking at right now. What you're looking at is the Alabama sports, because you know me, listen, you know what we about over here. We about information, right? So let me drop this. Let me see how do I get rid of this. Here we go. This is the tax money, right? This is the tax document for the Alabama Sports Council. I hope you can see this, right? Right here it says Alabama Sports Council, right there, okay? Hopefully you can see this. Let me take myself out of it. There we go. Alabama Sports Council. Let me zoom out. I need y'all to really see this, right? Hopefully y'all can see that. This is the tax information for the Alabama Sports Council. Guess what is the biggest money earning event that they have, right? Guess what earns the most money from the 4 events that they put on? The Magic City Classic. They put on Hammerfest. They put on SEC Women's Golf. They put on SEC Baseball Tournament. But what makes the most money? What makes the most money? $2.4 million. That's what they reported for the earned income, right, from the Magic City Classic. $2.4 million, right? So I just wanted to show you that. So there is the show that this is very profitable. That is the show that is very profitable, right? So let's get back to this statement. The parade was the major fundraiser for Magic City Metro Alumni Chapter, right? It says the ASC receives all revenue from all Magic City Classic branded merchandise. The pep rally, the parade, historically, the parade was a major fundraiser for the Magic City Metro Alumni Chapter. So essentially what A&M is telling you is that, hey, we used to make money off this. We don't make money off this anymore. We used to get this. We don't get this anymore. So I ask you all, you guys are way smarter than me in the chat. Half you Bamas got double doctorates, triple doctorates, 3 degrees. You know what I'm saying? You're way smarter than me. If one institution is telling you, hey, there's a lack of transparency. They don't show the financial records. We don't know where the money's going. They collect all the money. And then the other side is saying, hey, I did what's in the best financial interest of our institution. And based on all the historical data of HBCUs being in bad contracts, who in the hell would you believe? Who in the hell would you believe? Would you believe the Quinn and Slim looking ninja who's telling you, I love the deal that we got. I love all the stuff that we're getting. I did what's in the best financial institution of my state. Oh, my God. Or are you going to listen to the Bamas that say, hey, this is a jacked up contract. This is a jacked up deal, and we're not going to be a part of it anymore. I'm going to take jacked up contract for $200, Alex. Why? Why would you say that, Scotty? Well, I looked at the Southern Heritage Classic contract. That was ass. I looked at the Bayou Classic contract. That was ass. What else? I looked into the ESPN contract signed by your whack ass commissioner. That was ass. So why would I believe that this contract is any better? Why would I believe that? What in your right mind would give you the thoughts to say, yo, the Magic City Classic, oh, they got a steal. The only school that is worth their weight in gold in their contracts is FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. That's it. That's it. And they could do that a little bit better. But at the end of the day, they the ones with the best one. So explain, like, bro, like, y'all, this is the stuff that I'm telling. See, y'all want to talk about all the dumb shit, right? Y'all want to talk about all the dumb. Oh my God, what are we doing? Oh my God, this is. Oh my God, oh HBC, don't tell us. Oh my God, they calling. Y'all talk about all the dumb stuff. Talk about the stuff that make money. Talk about the stuff. People are supposed to be journalists. Where are the journalists? Where's the forensic accountants? Where's all these people that coming back to check on this stuff? Talk about the real stuff that matters. Because if you keep getting yourself in a situation over and over and over again and you don't change it, it's the definition of insanity. Oh, it's more. I'm only 40 minutes in. I got time today. Because if
you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it on that.
Come on, man. Let's get it. Now, another thing about the haha. We talking A-team today, baby. Next topic is be the change. Okay? Be the change. We talk about change. Sometimes somebody's got to stand on something, or you will fall for anything. And I'm sick and from the 2 to 3 years that I've been here, right, in this HBCU climate, it seems like a lot of HBCUs are just okay with being okay. You're just okay with that. Oh, yeah, well, this is what we've been doing. I've heard that so much, it makes me sick. Oh, this is what we've been doing. Oh, this is how we do it, Scotty. Oh, this is what it is, you know. Oh, we don't really talk about media rights because we think the commission knows what he's talking about. Oh, nobody holds the president. That's just what we do. Here we go. Now, I want to be very clear. Change does equal challenges. So don't think I'm up here just preaching to the choir saying everything's going to be hunky-dory. No, it takes proper planning to make change, right? Or you have to give yourself time to get it right. The same time that you've given the Magic City Classic to finally pay your freaking worth is the same time that you need to give A&M to get this right. Now, this is the funny thing about black people, right? A&M is stepping out on faith, stepping out on what they know to believe is right, to do right by their institution, right? But the black people will hold them 10 times more accountable than the white person that was screwing them over. That's the shit that don't make sense to me. It's that they will be harder on Dr. Wims, on A.D. Bryant, on the council lady if things don't go right year one, but you was okay with getting robbed for the last 10 years. That's the stuff that you would, it goes back, y'all can clown me, y'all can say, Scotty, you take it. It goes back to why Harriet Tubman was shooting Bamas, right? It goes back to why Harriet Tubman was shooting Bamas. You're not going to bring me down with your stuck mindset. I don't. Why are we leaving away from slavery? They feed us. It's good. We eat well. You know, we work 12-hour days in the sun, but you know it ain't too bad to only go back to a bed with no mattress. Like for real. Like real talk. Real talk. That's how some of you guys' mindset is. If things don't go right year one that you are hoping to see, you're going to be like, why we just didn't sign with ASC? Why we just didn't do this? Why we should just go on back to the white man who has been cheating us for the last 10 to 15 years of our value and our worth. Let's just go on back to him and let him feed us scraps while we get, no, that's not how progress works. That's not how change works. That's not how this stuff goes. I tell you guys all the time, if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X thought like half the black people at HBCUs, there would have never been a civil rights movement. There would have never been a civil rights movement if Malcolm X and Martin Luther King thought like half you Bamas at HBCUs, because there would be no progress. As soon as there were any pushback, as soon as there were any trial, as soon as there were ever any pitfall, you'd be like, man, this ain't worth it, man. this ain't worth it, man. I ain't doing it no more, man. We gonna go on back. I'd rather be segregated. I'd rather not get the same quality of life. You know what? I don't need to be in the C-suites with the white people. I'm good. Yeah, that's the mindset. That is the mindset, and you'll be lying if I said I'm wrong. Because you know people like that. As soon as you try to do something different, that's in your everyday life. Think about that. If you was in the hood, if you was slanging, if you was drug dealing, if you was hooking, if you was working at Dollar General, anytime that you wanted to do better for yourself and you are around people that were not in the same boat, what they going? Why you acting funny? Why you trying to change? You don't like what we doing? You don't like how we got it down here? It's everywhere. It's rampant. Okay? It's rampant. So it's not just in ACE. It's in life. It's in life. That's how people look at you when you try to change. Right? So you can't be listen, the whole thing, and I shout out to Coach DT for saying this. He said, my job is not to prove the haters right. My job is to prove the people who believed in me right. I know. I took it left. My bad. It was just hitting me. I'm sorry. Anyway, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's not about proving your naysayers wrong. It's about proving the people that are marching with you hand and foot, stepping out, all that type of stuff. It's proving them right to believe in you, right? Because on the other side of that challenge, you don't know what type of victory it is, right? And let me blow myself up real quick. Let me blow myself up because I want to be very clear when I say this. When I say you don't know what type of victories on the other side of a challenge is, you don't know what you could learn from the challenge, right? So understand, when there's challenges that come and you face those challenges, you get hit, you bounce back, you fight through it, you get on the other side. All the things that you've learned and accomplished are now a part of your one, testimony, and two, a part of your tool belt, right? Because now you know how to move in a room full of snakes. Now you know how to move in a room full of others, of just people that don't agree with you and things, and you know how to deal with problem solving, right? So even I beg for people at A&M to think about this. If 2024, and we're not even going to speak on it as if it's going to fail, because that's not what it is. We don't talk like that. We're going to see it succeed. But if it's not to your standard, give them grace, like you've been giving grace to the white person that's been gypping you for the last 5 to 10 years. That's all I ask is if you give the black people that are trying to make change and show you something different the same grace you was giving the white man who was gypping you over. That's all I ask, right? Now let's come to this. I want to be very clear. This is what I mean by be the change. A&M would receive additional funds 2024 and 2026 based on the task force. The task force, if you read the article, this is from A&M's article, the task force is explained of who's in the task force, some board of trustee members. Now, let me say this. I'm going to be very honest, right? I love what A&M's doing. You need to get people on this task force that know what the hell they're doing. Don't put people on a task force just to say they on the task force. Now, A&M, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire on this one because black people good for that. They just want to be, you know how, look, I got to take it back to the church. People want to be on a deacon board just to say they on the deacon board, okay? So A&M, it's not about putting people on the task force just to say, oh, you know I'm on the A&M task force. Bull crap, right? You need Bamas on the task force that know what the hell they're doing, that brings value to the task force and brings expertise, right? Don't put a board of trustee member on that crap and they don't know how to market or sell or get advertising. That don't make no sense, right? So don't do that. I say that again. Don't do that. Go reach out to some alums who are in the business of sales and marketing and put their ass on the task force. That's how that's supposed to work. Okay? Because what I will tell you is if you get an alum and you put an alum on there, I promise you they will work their ass more than anybody else on that board. Hopefully, I'm hopefully right about this. Why? It's because when I get about HBCU alums, the one thing I've consistently seen from HBCU alums, when they do something for their alma mater, there is no prouder feeling. They love to brag about, man, you know I did that, man. Hey, man, you know, hey, listen, me and a couple guys, and it shout out to Jackson State and what they do in Ken and the 1400 Tiger Talk and what they do. There is no greater feeling than empowering the people that went to Jackson to invest back into Jackson. And then when Ken and Zoe go buy what they say they were going to buy, that's how they keep getting money. That's how they do it. It ain't rocket science. It's damn smart because why? You guys are complaining about the equipment. You guys are complaining about this. Put your money where your mouth is. I'll go buy it. Then you see it. And then what? When they ask for something else, people are inclined to give. And it's not crazy amounts. Some people give $50. Some people give $100. Whatever you're able to give, you just know you're giving to the right cause. You know you're giving to a right cause because at the end of the day, you see the fruit of the labor that was put into it. So you got to respect it. So A&M, do the same thing for your community. Have a capital fund campaign for the 2024 Magic City Classic. Go look for people who are willing to invest, right, into the sponsorship. Here we go. What I would do is, listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna call a spade. If you're doing some dope shit, you doing some dope stuff. I ain't a hater now, okay? I ain't a hater now. I still want y'all Bama's to lose. Don't get me too twisted. I still want you Bama's to lose. It's still pray for TC, not play for them, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? So have a capital campaign fund for Magic City Classic, right? Whoever donates over $1,000 gets a commemorative something, you know what I'm saying? To say, because think about this. You got to look at stuff in a microcosm, right? Okay, I don't know for a fact, but please correct me if I'm wrong. This is historic because it probably hasn't been done in the last 20 to 30 years of A&M planning the Magic City Classic on its own, right? So you got to make that a special thing for your alums. Who wouldn't want to be part of something special and historic of, listen, we planning the Magic City Classic for us. It's a home game for us, right? So make it a true A&M home game. Make it a true A&M home game. Put shit on the field. Put A&M alums in the back of the end zone, right? I don't give a damn. Make it an A&M home game. Make it so A&M that Alabama State like, yo, we don't even want to be here. It's too many of them Bamas. Make it an A&M event. Make it a capital campaign fund A&M event to make it just go all out and do whatever you can. Because at the end of the day, you got to get money. Got to raise money, got to get it. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry because I don't want this to go too long because half you Bamas don't even make it past the hour, right? But understand, it is what it is. And this is why, here we go. However, right? Because remember, A&M gets the ticket revenue and everything like that. However, the institution will also be responsible for a myriad of game day needs and expenses, including vendor, exposition, tents, outside the stadium and operations or expense not covered by the city. Listen to me. This is where, listen to me very carefully. This is where you need to reach out to alums to figure out the proper planning of this thing. Get alums that have put on major events, right? Get alums who understand vendors and where tents should be placed and everything. Reach out to some fans. Reach out. Have a tip thing, right? Have like an email tip system to where people talk about their experiences with the Magic City Classic, right? And understand and understand what went wrong, what they can do better, and things like that. So you're building it to a customer-friendly experience. And also, listen very carefully. I would not limit this to just A&M alums. I would open this up to any HBCU alum that has put on events, right? You have a task force, and then you can make it a committee or something else. But you need to understand, you need all hands on deck. You need to get and let people know this is not a paid position. There's a year of planning, thank God. Put another committee together to help you alleviate some of the other stuff. I know managing Black people is not easy, but understanding planning an event that you haven't planned for the first time in the first year, understand that it's a lot, but I believe in them. Just got to do your due diligence, all right? Now, you might not know, I got a best-selling book, all right, on Amazon. It's called What's My Value and Why, okay? I'm selling digital copies for Alabama State. So if you're an HBCU alum, especially Alabama State, especially Quentin Ross, you can buy my best-selling book, What's My Value and Why? Digital copies available everywhere. Okay? Because a lot of you Bamas don't understand it, so I'm selling books. All right? So you guys can get you get an understanding of what's going on here. So you can head over to Amazon, all right, and buy my book, What's My Value and Why? Okay? Very inspirational. Okay? Very inspirational. Game-changing book. Okay? So buy it for your president alum, Trevion Scott. Buy it for him. All right? Buy it for most of the ADs in the SWAC. All right, buy for Ashley Robinson, because since Dion left, I ain't seen a picture of him. He was all in the videos, all in the stuff. Since Dion left, I ain't seen a picture of Swag Diddy. I ain't seen him, right? So buy a book for him. You know, What's My Value and Why? Who else? Bethune-Cookman, buy a book for them. Just, hey, listen, put them in stocking stuffers, okay? Good book, digital copies available. Moving on, right? Let's talk about, listen, you know what happens. You know what happens when I see a Black, beautiful woman doing what she doing.
What y'all know about it?
Oh,
Supermodel.
you know when there's a Black, beautiful, powerful woman in here, okay? You know I got to talk about them. You know I got to talk about them. Once again, we gonna shout out the county commissioner of Jefferson County, Lashunda Scales. You know what she is?
What y'all know about it? Supermodel.
Hey, all right. Let's talk about Lashunda Scales, because she bought a book of my value and know my value and why. She bought a book. Personally, I signed it for her, okay? And also, this is why voting matters. Representation matters. I know a lot of you guys want to talk about the white men that run for campaigns and presidencies, but you need to worry about your local government, and that's why representation matters. Look at that fine Black woman up there stunting on them white men in that nice dress, okay? County commissioner looking and doing it. Representation matters. Go vote for your local stuff, all right? Now, Miss Scales, right? The article is in the description below. I'm pulling it from an article. This is what the writer said about Miss Scales when she went to negotiate an increase for the schools. He says, Scales brought a Bible worth of paperwork to the gathering to support her long shot request for $750,000 for 3 years. This is Jefferson County giving money to the Magic City Classic, right? Along with the parade of folks who either produce the Classic, participate in the Classic, or pocket a portion of the economic bounty, the Classic direct deposits into the city. The county and regional insatiable coffers every year. A Bible worth. Thank you, Lashunda. A Bible worth. She was not playing with these ninjas. She know how these white men get down. Okay? Moving forward, Scales did not get the $750,000 over 3 years. The commissioners at work session instead recommended approving $500,000 for 1 year, right? With investments in subsequent years contingent upon, at the behest of Commissioner Steve Ammons, the classic providing a good report on what it was never quite clear. Now, this is the writer talking about the events that happened at the city council. Now, I want to dive deep into that, right? Because this is what happens when you deal with people who don't want to, that don't see your value, right? Miss Scales is saying, listen, the Magic City Classic is a direct deposit into the city, into the county, and the surrounding areas, just simply because of what they do for the city and the county, right? The white man says, we got to see a good report. Now, let me say this. Think about this. I want you Bamas to think about this. The white man says, we got to see a good report. Hold up. You got to see a good report since when? You listen, you have been paying the schools since I don't know when. Let's just say 10 years. For the past 10 years, you've been paying both institutions. You've never asked for a good report. You've been paying these institutions for the past 10 years, and under my knowledge, of my short-term knowledge, because I'm going to be honest, it ain't that far back, you ain't never asked for no good report because you knew what the game means. You knew what the game entailed. You knew how much this game mattered. You never said you didn't want the game. Because I'll say this, I know one thing about white people, if that money don't make sense, they're going to cut it off. So if he was seeing a bad report every year, wasn't seeing the return on investment, they wouldn't have kept paying. Can we all agree to that? I think we can all agree to that. That if the white man, Mr. Ammons, Steve Ammons, if Steve Ammons saw year after year no return on investment, the game losing fans, the game's not being an economic impact to the city and to the county, do you think he would have been okay with paying them? No. So how all of a sudden now you got to explain why we got to pay them? You never explain why of the economic impact they were bringing. You never asked them to explain that. But I digress. But Ms. Scales also goes on to say this, right? Now, let me break down these payouts, right? Now, the city of Birmingham on the left, right? They have agreed to pay $1 million a year until 2026. That's $500K per school. Jefferson County has only agreed to pay $500K, $1 million, right, for the 2023 season. So remember, if we go back and you remember when I talked about when the A team brought up the situation of ASC not getting more funding and not getting more commitment from Jefferson County, right? And since Jefferson County has only agreed for the 2023 year to put in $1 million, that is where you get that from. So these are the two payouts from the government sides, right? So in the government side, the schools both walk away with $1 million. You get $500 from Jefferson, $500 from the city of Birmingham. That's $1 million per school. All right, I just want to be very clear about that. But this is the kicker. I need you guys to turn your TVs up. Listen to this. This is what Miss Scales thinks about it. She said, this game will end up being up for grabs. They choose to play here. She said before the final motion was approved, and before the meeting hit the much-needed pause button, the schools made it clear that they are ready to get paid. You may not have to vote on the game next year because the game is going to walk away. There will come a day soon when you won't have to worry about it altogether. You are leaving this game in limbo. They are willing to walk away. Now, Miss Scales, I absolutely love the soliloquy. The only issue is this. A&M is willing to stand on that. Quinn Ross is still the ninja from Queen and Slim. Okay? He does not understand leverage. Quinn Ross is the ninja, right? You say, hey, listen, man, I'm going to go down to the store. I'm going to talk to the person real quick. Just wait right here. I'm going to be back with your money, right? He's that person. When you go, somebody knocks on the door and says, hey, I'll give you $20 if you just come with me real quick and just come with me. You come back with $100, Quentin Ross done dipped on you for 20. You was like, yo, I thought you was my mans. Oh, man, I mean, I didn't know if you were going to come back with the money. Somebody knocked on my door and they offered me $20 and I just said, okay, I'll come with you. That's Quentin Ross, right? A&M is saying, listen, we know our value. This don't make sense. Miss Lashunda Scales, the county commissioner, is saying, look, this game has value. You need to open your eyes before they walk away. The only Bama who don't see it the same is Steve Ammons and them other white commissioners and Quentin Ross. Now, once again, I beg of you, I'm going to read this again because I need people to hear this in the back. Who do you believe? Listen to me, please. I beg of you. All 215 of you, who do you believe? Do you believe A&M saying, hey, we're getting screwed over and they're not showing the finances of where this money is going? Do you believe in Miss Lashunda Scales saying, hey, I'm trying to get more money? She's a freaking county commissioner. She don't think that they don't got a $750,000. She knows the budget. She's trying to go to bat for them, and she's telling them simply, hey, this game has value, and when this game leaves, you all going to be looking stupid. But guess who is not on that same bandwagon? Quinn Ross, Alabama State president, who is siding with the white folk. Who is signing with the white folk. Now, don't that sound, listen, you might get mad at me. Don't that sound a little Django-ish? That just sounds a little Django-ish to me. That just sounds a little Django-ish to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hold on. That is what Quentin Ross said when A.D. Bryant was like, yo, we not signing this. This is Quentin Ross talking to ASC. This is Quentin Ross talking to ASC. Oh, my bad. Let me share my audio. My bad. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it because I need y'all to hear this. Hold on. Let me share my audio. Let me see.
My boy. Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that name? Oh, Stephen, you have nails for breakfast. What's the matter? Why you so ornery? You miss me, huh? Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss flop, like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty. I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe. Now, I ask you, who this nigga on that name?
Hey, Snowball. Wanna know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I snatch your black ass off that nag down here in the mud so fast.
Hey, you might not agree. I disagree. Sounds a little Steven or Django to me. You know what I'm saying? When Quentin Ross is talking to Gene Hallman, you know what I'm saying?
You miss me? Huh?
Oh yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss flop, like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty. I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe.
I mean, if that ain't Quentin Ross talking to Gene, when Gene came up with that contract and said, hey, we try and screw you over again. Hey, here you go. Ha, I missed you. I missed you like a baby missing Mammy Titty. I missed you like a rock in my shoe. I mean, like, thank you. He signed that contract so fast. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop praying. Stop playing with me. Let's continue on. Because everybody else is showing you the value, right? Is showing you the value of this game. Everybody else is showing you what this game potentially can mean. Except the Bama from Queen and Slim, who turned him in. Let's continue on. Now, once again, I try to tell y'all, this is Quentin Ross talking to Gene Hallman when he got his $1.5 million. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, my bad. So, can't do it both at the same time. Anyway, y'all got the point. Y'all got the point. All right. So let me say this. You already know we're talking about the. We talking 18. And with the 18, we're talking splits in revenue. Now, this is what everybody came to hear. This is what everybody came to see. And we talking. We talking 18. Right? Now, listen. Here we go. Remember, the home team, A&M, gets in 2023 and 2025, they get the 1 million, they get the $500K from the city, right? Birmingham. They get $500K from the county, right? And then they get $1.5 million from AFC. Now, I believe that might be $750, right? So they'll get $750 1 year and $750 for another year. That's just my I'm guessing, right? So remember, that's what they get for those 2 years. So 2023, 2025. Now, let me show you what A&M is dealing with, right? This was the revenue split with ASC. All right. This was the revenue split with ASC. Other revenue is primarily derived from sponsorship and ticket sales. Net proceeds after expenses are split among A&M and Alabama State. 40% to each. Now, okay, that means 40% of the ticket sales, right? And 40% go to Alabama State, 40% go to A&M. You're like, Scotty, what happens to the 20%? They keep that. ASC keeps that, right? Let's continue. And the Alabama Sports Council gets 33% of the first 150,000 raised, and then 20%. Listen, Linda, right? So, out of all the money that they raised, understand 40 and 40, but this is where it's effed up. 33% of that in the first 150, and then 20% after the above 150, right? So even part of that 80% that they get, they still got to break off shares of that. And I have been told by a birdie, right, that ASC also gets a percentage of the government money that is paid towards the schools. I heard that from a pretty prominent person on the staff, right? Just letting y'all know. So it says this, which hires the Bruno event team, flat fee, to obtain sponsors, manage some game day logistics and operations, including signing talent for the post-game concert and ambassador, right? Now, listen. Now, this would be, like, I'm going to give you the breakdown if I was A&M. Because remember, right, 2024 and 2026 is A&M. That's their years. So, this is how I would do the splits for 2024 and 2026. For the ticket sales, 60%, because remember, right? Look at the yellow. Remember, A&M is responsible for all game day expenses, right? They have the most risk. Listen, Alabama State has no risk. For the next 4 years, Alabama State has no risk in this. They don't set nothing up. They don't break nothing down. The 2 years that they're the home team, ASC is literally their event management team, right? And for the 2 years that they aren't the home team, A&M has to foot that bill. So understand, they have more risk. So this would be me. I would go 60-40 ticket split. On the 2 years that I'm A&M, this is what I would do. I would go 60-40 ticket split. But this is where I would kill Alabama State. I would go 90-10 for sponsorships. Right? Because remember, Alabama State has no say in the sponsorships. They're not helping A&M get sponsors. They're not doing any of that. So I would make sure we got the bulk, if not all, of the sponsorships. It will be like 90-10, 95-5, because Alabama State is not hell yeah, I would rape Alabama because you don't want the risk. You don't want the risk. Why should you benefit? Okay, I'm glad you said this, Lashunda. Think about this, Lashunda. Why should Alabama State benefit off a risk they're not willing to take? They decided to go with the white man and what the white man was giving off to them. They do not have to go hunt and kill for what they have to eat. So you are not going to get the money that we had to go, because A&M got to foot that expense bill. A&M got to foot all the police bill, the trash bill, all the stuff that the city does not cover. I think the city covers trash. All the things the city does not cover, A&M has to cover that. So they got to foot. So listen, think about this. A&M gets all the ticket sales. A&M, not all the ticket sales because I split it, but they get all the concession sales. They should get all the sponsorship sales, right? And they get the parade money. And they get the parade money. Okay? So that's a lot of revenue that A&M gets to keep. The only reason I did a large ticket split is because Alabama State is bringing people to the table. I absolutely would. Thank you so much, PZ, to prove a point. And now, mind you, because listen, you guys got to think about. I need you guys to I need all you Bammers to put your black hat on, right? I need all you Bammers to sit back in your office, your house, wherever you watching me, on your car, and put your black hat on. If Alabama State gets more money in the 2 years that they do not have to risk, what are they going to say? We didn't even do no work and get paid more than you. Right? Put your black hat on, because you would do the same thing. It's no different than like a big brother, little brother situation. You thought doing it. You thought doing it by yourself was going to work. Right? That's black hat number one. Now, black hat number two. If A&M comes out with more money than Alabama State does doing it themselves, you talking about ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun? If A&M walks away with a cool $3.5 million profit off the 1 year that they hosted, because mind you, they have the risk of weather. They have the risk of weather delay. They have all that risk that plays. That's why promoters get a huge brunt of the money, because they deal with the risk of people not showing up, because the benefit is that A&M gets the stadium for literally free. So they don't have to pay the expense of the stadium, right? But they got to pay for staff and all that type of stuff. But if A&M can come out with a huge profit, that's why if I'm an A&M grad, I'm making sure I show up to 2024 and 2026, because why? My school gets all that revenue. If you're a true alum of A&M, if you a true Bulldog, your ass better show up 2024 and 2026. Your ass better show up. And you better spend money inside that stadium. I'm just saying, you better show up and show out if you're an A&M alum. All right, or a sidewalk fan, or if you like A&M, better show your ass up, right? So that's why if I'm A&M, you gotta do it. You gotta make them. Hey, listen, you gotta make them feel it. Matter of fact, I'll probably do 80-20. You know what? While I'm playing for the ticket splits, I'll probably do 80-20 on the ticket splits. Why? Because you ain't take no risk, my boy. You wanted to ride with the white man. You didn't want to ride with me. So while you playing, I wouldn't share shit with Alabama State. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't share shit because you didn't want to invest in us. You didn't want to believe in us. You didn't want to believe in what we have built, right? So now I got to show you. So at the end of the day, I'm taking all of that. I might go 80-20 while you bull crapping. I might go 80 because I got to make my money. A&M's the promoter now. We not sharing in this. I'm the promoter. So I'm going to pimp you. I'm going to show you what it looked like. You don't want to believe in me? You don't want to believe in what we doing? I'm going to show you. I'll do 80-20 in ticket, and I'll go 90-10 in sponsorships. Yeah, I'll rake Alabama State over the coals, boy. I would rake them Bamas. All right, moving on. Let me say this. I'm doing all that, Blue. I'm doing it all. I'm up in ticket prices. I'm doing it all. All right. But this is the blessing in disguise, right? And I'm closing in on this. The blessing in disguise is that A&M has a year and change to get the sponsorships for this event, right? So let me say this. Because at the end of the day, you know there's a politic game being played by ASC. Let me tell y'all this. The president, listen to me very carefully. The president of the Alabama Sports Commission is the VP of Alabama Power, one of the biggest sponsors of the Magic City Classic. Let me say that again. The president and chairman of the nonprofit organization called Alabama Sports Council, right, is the VP at Alabama Power. So understand this. If Alabama Power decides not to sponsor the Magic City Classic in 2024, in 2026, it's because the chairman of the Alabama Sports Council, ASC, the event management company, has told them not to do that because they don't get the revenue off of it. Okay? So I need you all to listen to me very carefully. If 2024 and 2026, Alabama Power has sponsored the Magic City Classic for the last 5 years, right? And even longer than that. From what I've been told, they have one of the best tailgates at the Magic City Classic, okay? So what I'm saying to you is this. Listen to me, please. If Alabama Power pulls out as the event sponsorship, you know why. Because the president of the chairman of the nonprofit of the ASC. Matter of fact, let me just show y'all because y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game. Let me show y'all because y'all think I'm bull crapping, right? Y'all think I'm bull crapping, but it's okay. Let me show y'all, right? Let me show y'all because y'all think I'm bull crapping. I want everybody, right? Everybody and their mama right now, if you're able to, go look up Nick Sellers, right? Let me show you right here. Go look up Nick Sellers. What does that say? Chairman and president. Let me zoom in. All right, let me zoom in right here. Nick Sellers, chairman / president. Go look his name up against Alabama Power. Go look his name up. He is the VP at Alabama Power. So I say again, if they are not a sponsor in 2024 and 2026, when A&M is hosting it, understand why. I don't want you guys to be shocked. I don't want you guys to be in outrage. I would love for you guys to be in outrage, but I don't want A&M people to be shocked if Alabama Power says, hey, we're not sponsoring it this year. I just want to be very clear, okay? Because I've been to the Magic City Classic. I saw all them Bamas from Alabama Power. They got their own little special group. They got all that type of stuff. You know, VIP access. They got a big-ass banner. I seen all that. I just want to be very clear to y'all of what it is. Huntsville, if I'm anybody in Huntsville, I'm trying to get with Tesla. I think Tesla is building something there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Huntsville, Google has something there. They got the Space Museum, you know what I'm saying, down in Huntsville. Listen, there's a lot of major corporations down in Huntsville. So if I was them, that's why you need to build the right damn task force. All these businesses is in Huntsville. Don't let their ass off the hook. And that task force better get to tasking. Okay? That task force better get to tasking. There is too many major corporations in Huntsville not to sponsor the Magic City Classic. Okay? So I want to be very clear that listen, A&M alums and task force, if Alabama Power does not get with you, don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. I'm just giving y'all the heads up. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say Scotty didn't tell us. Right? I'm here for the betterment of HBCUs. I want to see Bama's win. I want to see A&M win. I would have loved to see Alabama State win if Quentin Ross wasn't that ninja from Queen and Slim. I'm just telling you that right now. He gives me those vibes because you can't tell me from everything that A&M has put out in their PR move. Shout out to the A team. Shout out to the A team. Okay. Shout out to the A team for doing a huge PR move in that sense, right? I'm going to take a couple calls. All right, I'm going to open the call lines up for a few minutes. All right, I'm at 1 hour and 30 minutes. I ain't going to be on here for too much longer. All right, because I know you guys are busy at work and stuff like that. But really today's show was this, right? And hey, listen, if you made it this far in the chat, because we're coming down to the end, right? Can you put that? Listen, if you're watching this on the replay, in the comments below, put the A team. All right, A-team. If you're watching this live and you made it this far, put the A team. All right, because I know some of you Bamas don't be making it this far, but if you do make it this far on the replay, put the A team in the chat. All right, let me know you made it this far.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Let me say this, right? While I kind of wrap this all up. I want to be very clear. What A&M is doing is just not for Alabama, right? It's not just for Alabama A&M. What Alabama A&M is doing is showing in listen, this could be a very, very monumental shift in the HBCU arena. And shout out to my boy Spotlight. I stole it from him. I love what you do, Spotlight. We miss you, man. I love what you do when you say if you made it this far in the video. You know, I stole it from Spotlight. All right. But I want to be very clear. And Lashunda, I see you. What Alabama A&M is doing is huge for the HBCU landscape, because if A&M pulls this off and they make a good size income, they could show the blueprint on how to do this, right? They can literally give you the game and the blueprint on how to change the game and become your own promoters, to where schools are now their own promoters and they're getting the bulk of the income and the schools are splitting it together. Because let me be very clear, the Bayou Classic and the Florida Classic are both held by event management teams, okay? So it's not the schools planning this. It's not the schools having a planning committee and things like that, right? They both have an event management team that takes care of the issues for them. So for A&M to step out in this day and age to do it themselves, or maybe find their own promoter, I would prefer they not do that. I would prefer them handle it all in-house. But, you know, listen, that could be very cumbersome, but they could really change the game in classics and how it's played and how it's negotiated and how they put it together with the task force and building a committee. Because this is what you can do. Thank you, God. What you could do is this. If the commissioners and the chancellors and the presidents were smart, they would build a SWAC committee, that the SWAC committee, here we go, does the event planning, right? And the schools pay into it, right? To pay the people that do it. But you go find expertise. You go find expertise and you build your own committee. You build your own event coordinating and you house it in-house. It's an in-house committee. It is an in-house product. So you know they're going to do right by you. Why? Because it's an in-house product that is funded by you. That is funded by the schools. But that's neither here nor there. Coming to you, Lashunda. What's up, y'all? Talk
How
to
you
me.
doing, sir?
Talk to me.
I want to thank A&M for leading the way. You guys, you have my full support, my full financial support. Anything that I can do, please let me know. Alabama State, giving y'all a side eye. Ain't really much I can say about that because I don't know all the details. But I just wanted to say this. Don't this sound kind of similar to when Grambling was trying to get a better deal negotiated for the media rights contract for the Bayou Classic in Southern 2000?
Sounds the same to me. And Southern was like, no, we're just gonna keep signing the same old deal.
So it seems like we're willing to talk to the white man, but we're not willing to talk to our brothers. Make that make sense. I'm not understanding if and no shade, because like I said, I don't know all the details. If Alabama State had time to call ASC, did they not also have time to call Alabama A&M?
They sure enough did.
I'm just asking for clarification. And didn't they also have time to call Lashunda Scales? Didn't they also have time to call her?
They sure enough did.
I'm just wondering how this works. So maybe Alabama State A&M can fill me in on that part. And that's all. I just really wanted to throw that little piece in there and give Alabama A&M their credit. I told y'all when y'all hired A.D. Bryant what was going to happen. He made he wasn't perfect at Grambling, but he made a lot of progress for the school. He did excellent things at Edward Waters University. So I already knew that what was going to happen at A&M.
Yeah.
So I already knew that. So.
Hey, appreciate the call, y'all talk.
All right.
Hey, listen. One thing about Yard Talk, she's like the Debo of Twitter, bro. Like, don't play them games with HBCUs. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. Let me say this. I agree to some I agree to some extent what Shelby's saying is like, bro, did you see the media day of what they had? Like, they had that wrinkle up banner. They had a wrinkle up banner in the back. It wasn't even anyway. Listen, man. I look at it like this. It's either one of two things. You could do it. Like, let's say you don't want the SWAC to do it, but you want a third party, right? It's like, why not build it? Why not build it? Because you know you're going to need it, right? But the issue is understanding the, like, it's a lot easier than it sounds, right? Because you have to deal with state by state, right? Because let's say if the SWAC has a committee, let's say that SWAC has its own event sponsor, right? Kind of how like ESPN does, right? ESPN has a thing called ESPN events. So they get event money and they get media money, right? So they get both sides of the spectrum. So, but what's difficult is now you're asking the SWAC to go in state by state and figure out all these nuances in how things are worked and how things are planned and things like that. So it could be difficult. I'm not going to say it couldn't be difficult, right? But could it be doable? Absolutely. I just don't think you have the right person in power to do it. That's just one. And two, I don't think you have the visionary to see it through, right? Of understanding what all could go into that. Because even if it took 2 or 3 years of planning, because understand all these classics are not going, none of these classics are going away. But if the classics, if you could take the promoter away from these classics and have your own SWAC in-house promoter, that's a huge levy off of some of these schools, because then there's the transparency of the financial aspect of everything, right? There's a transparency because the in-house SWAC committee is not trying to take all your funds. They might take a fee to pay the people on staff, all right? They might take a fee, they might take 20% or 15% to pay the people on staff, but everything else goes back to you. Everything else is a distribution back to the schools that participated. You know what I'm saying? So that part. And then if you renegotiated the deals with the in-SWAC committee, right, you could probably then renegotiate the TV rights of these things, right? Because the Alabama A&M, let me tell you this. I would not put the Magic City Classic on ESPN Plus. I would not do that. If I'm A&M and I'm the host team of the conference game, I would not put that game. I would already tell ESPN, nah, you're not getting this game. I would sell that game to the highest bidder. Why? Part of the media budget. If I'm A&M, I would tell ESPN, no, sir, you're not getting this game. I'm selling this game to the highest bidder. Shit, you can't even do that. Why? Because HBCU go. You can't even sell it. You can't even sell it because if you don't give it to ESPN, HBCU Go has secondary rights to all your shit. Thanks to the dumbass commissioner, I'm now mad, right? Right? So they own all your secondary stuff. So they just take it. So you can't even sell it. You can't even sell it. The only way you can sell it is if HBCU Go says we don't want it. So if HBCU Go says we don't want it, then you can sell it. But since your commissioner that you love so much showed all your games, right? You can't sell it unless HBCU. So you gotta say. So let me tell you the process of this. ESPN can't pick the game up, right? HBCU Go cannot pick the game up. So now, if they both don't pick the game up, then A&M and Alabama State are allowed to sell that game. Well, A&M is allowed to sell that game to the highest bidder, right? So then you figure it out from there who you want to sell it to. That's just a little caveat for y'all. So, but yeah, it is what it is, man. But if you're able to sell it to the highest bidder. If you're okay, listen. If ESPN doesn't take it, HBCU Go takes it, then you got to figure out, how you want to sell sponsorships and all that type of stuff. That's neither here nor there. All I know is this. Do whatever you can the right way to make this happen. Get a good committee, get a great task force, plan the hell out of it, make it available to A&M alums to be a part of this, right? I don't give a damn if it's commemorative shirts. For every $100 that somebody donates to the capital fund of Magic City Classic, make shirts, all right? Make shirts so people can say, so it'd be like this. I gave to the Magic City Classic, right? You need funding. Hey, shout out to Mr. Gregory. Shout out to you, Mr. Gregory. All right. You need funding in all forms, okay? So what I would do is this. I would partner with a t-shirt company, right? I would do this. I would do 100 t-shirts. Listen to me. I would get 100 t-shirts made. Or I would do a pre-order of 100. So the first 100 people to give to the Magic City capital funding of $100. Let me see. Let me do the math. Where my calculator at? All right. 100 times 100. That's $10,000, right? So I'll make 100 shirts. And you have to give over $100 to get this shirt, right? You got to give over $100, right? And it says I gave to the Magic City Classic for that, and that's $10,000 right there. So whatever you can do with that $10,000, you get what I'm saying? And you mail them out accordingly, partner with the t-shirt company, get something made. You just trying to build interest. You're trying to get some excitement behind this, because understand it's a community event, right? So you're planning for the community. Get the community involved. Start a capital give campaign with the goal of $100,000, right? The goal is to raise $100,000 for the Magic City Classic for 2024, right? Because that gives you a year and some change. That's the capital giving fund, right? Maybe, $100,000. That's the goal, right? If you give over $100 for the first 100 people, you get a t-shirt. I would do that. Just listen, something, right? Or listen. Oh, I'm thinking, A&M, take notes. I'm thinking, your boy Scotty thinking, if you give over $500, right? If you give over $500 to the Magic City Classic, right? Your name will be read off at the game. Listen, you know when they be doing those donors and crap, right? Right? If you do a donor, right? Your name will be like if you give over $500, you get the t-shirt, right? I would make packages. Listen to me, right? For $100, you get a t-shirt. The first 100 people to give $500, right, will get their name read off at the stadium. So you go 20, you go 25 in the first quarter, 25 in the second quarter, 25 at halftime, or whatever. You space it out. They'll be like, we want to thank, Abrion Scott, Keelan McGee, Stephen Campbell, Adrian Cook. We want to thank all these people for giving to the Magic City Classic. That's it. Listen, if you give over $1,000, you get recognized on the field. Listen. I don't give a damn about interrupting no damn band, right? And your business, right? And your business. So we want to, however you do it. If you give over $1,000, you will at halftime you get during media timeouts or whatever, we'll acknowledge you on the field, or you get to come out before halftime. All the people who gave, the 100 people, you know what I'm saying, or whoever, or I'll go the first 50 people that gave $1,000 or whatever. You don't want 100 people on the field, but you know what I'm saying. The first 50 people, 25 or whatever, or you can do it before the game. However, I would just come up with packages like that for people to give. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to do that. I'm just saying think outside the box, because remember, you have a year and some change for next year, and then you'll do it again for next year, right? You're back at it again, okay? So just be creative. I'm giving you tidbits. Write them down. Do something. I don't give a damn. Did them band heads give money? Did them band heads give money? Okay, I don't give two. Matter of fact, I would take time away from Alabama State to make sure. See, that's what I would do. I would take time away from Alabama State's band performance, since I'm the host, and acknowledge the people that gave to my campaign. That's what I would do. That's just me. But I'm petty like that. You want to ride with the white man? Let me show you what that looks like. All right? But that's just me. And I'll tell them, hold that. All right? Yeah. So while we getting this $100,000 campaign fund, hold that. You know what I'm saying? Because that could go to bills. That could go to expenses. That $100,000 that you've raised, that's $100,000 of profit that you get to keep, because you could probably use that for expenses or paying, for staff or whatever, whatever you might need it for. So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I would do it. But listen, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. That's been my time. A&M, I'm rocking with you the long way. That is what it is. Okay. Hopefully y'all guys can put this together, because I'm telling you right now, y'all got time. Okay. It's not like it's 2023 and it's right around the corner. No. You got a year and some change. Okay. There's no way that you can't tell me in a year you can't put together the most amazing Magic City Classic possible. And I believe y'all can. And I got the grace to give y'all, because I stand with y'all, the mere fact that y'all not doing the same status quo stuff. All right, so let me take this last caller. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
What's up, man?
All right, Scotty, you're on the right track, but guess what? It's easier than you making it out to be. Guess what? If I was A&M, I would set up a independent fund outside of the athletic department. And guess what, Scotty? I would go to a bridge company to tell them, you know what? I need $1 million for a year and a half. Okay?
Yeah.
And then do it just like corporate do it. You go to bridge fund. You don't have to. You can raise the money, but they'll loan you $1 million for 18 months. Okay? And you have all the funding you need, and then the T-shirts and everything can be put in the fund to pay them back at the end. But yeah, I know a guy will loan Alabama A&M to run the Classic for 18 months from now. I'll do it. Okay? Because they got this, Scott, it's so easy. They got a built-in client base, built-in sponsors and everything like that. Listen, and built-in, easy bet. Somebody come up to me and say, listen, loan me $1 million to fund the planning and execution of the Classic, and we'll pay you back with interest of 7%, 18 months from now. I'll pay that day any time of the day for the Magic City Classic.
That's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anybody's trying to take out a loan because I think listen, the reason I don't think A&M would take out a loan is simply because of they don't know what they can do by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like if they had been doing this for a while and they knew their return on investment, because the event management company can take out a loan. Why? Because they can show previous results, right? They can show that, hey, we've been making this much. We can pay this off as this and that and third. A&M has not shown that. They have never ran anything. So if I'm a business, I'm not going to give you a loan. You haven't done this production before. That's a high risk. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling them to raise money. Once they raise the money and do what they do, then if they want to come back next year and say, hey, we made $4 million, we profited $2 million, you know what I'm saying? Give us $1 million so we can do all the stuff that we need to do, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying, though.
Yes, Scott, we're saying the same thing. But what I'm saying to you is, as a black man that running investment type companies and everything like that, like you said earlier about Ms. Scales, they got 25 years of history, okay? And I would just say that any black management company will take a risk on Alabama A&M for their Classic. I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they could generate $1 million in revenue by putting on a Classic when you eliminate ASC. Okay.
Yeah.
My thought is, just many ways to take an approach. I know you say fundraise, T-shirts, and I'm all for that. Sometimes, you don't have to go through all of that to get money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All right. And as an investor, I know I'm taking a risk. Okay. I'm not going to loan you $1 million unless I feel like I can lose $1 million. But guess what? If I loan you $1 million, everything go well, I think we'll be doing business for another 10, 15 years, maybe. That's how you play the game. Just a thought.
No, I get you. No, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It's not bad. I mean, I get it, but it's just too much risk for a bank to do that with people that this is the first time you're doing it. It's just too much risk. All right, but guys, listen, like I said, I'm about to get up out of here. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.